Before we jump into this breaking story, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, because what we're about to talk about could seriously shape the Los Angeles Dodgers, not just for this season, but for 2026 and beyond. This isn't just another rumor floating around social media. This is about a strong message sent directly by Dave Roberts, and it involves one of the most electric arms in the world right now, Roki Sasaki. And if this deal actually moves forward the way insiders are whispering, it could completely change the direction of the Dodgers franchise. Let's slow this down and really understand what's happening here. Dave Roberts has never been the type of manager to throw words around carelessly. When he speaks, especially about roster construction, about pitching plans, about the future, there's meaning behind it. And recently, when asked about the Dodgers' long-term pitching vision, he didn't just talk about depth or development. He talked about dominance. He talked about building something sustainable that could control October. And when he mentioned that the organization is always looking at elite international talent that can anchor a rotation for years, that wasn't random. That was a message. And everyone in the baseball world knows who fits that description perfectly: Roki Sasaki. If you've been following international baseball, you already know Sasaki isn't just hype. This is a pitcher who has thrown a perfect game in Japan. Not just any perfect game, a 19-strikeout masterpiece that made scouts across Major League Baseball lose their minds. We're talking about a fastball that touches triple digits, sitting comfortably in the upper 90s with life. We're talking about a splitter that disappears at the plate. We're talking about command that makes hitters look frozen. Now imagine that kind of arm joining a Dodgers rotation that has already been aggressive about reloading and staying competitive every single year. But here's where this story gets even more intense. The Dodgers are not just thinking about 2025. They are thinking about 2026, because by then the roster could look different. Contracts will shift, veteran arms might age out, the financial structure will change. And the front office under Andrew Friedman has always played chess while others play checkers. So when Dave Roberts talks about building something that sustains championship windows, that's not coach speak. That's strategy. Roki Sasaki represents more than talent. He represents timing. With the international posting system and the evolving situation in Japan, there is growing belief that Sasaki could make his jump to MLB sooner rather than later. And when he does, there will be a feeding frenzy. Every big market team will call. The Yankees, the Mets, the Giants, the Cubs. But let's be honest, the Dodgers have advantages most teams don't. First, the Japanese connection in Los Angeles is strong. The market understands and supports Japanese superstars. We've already seen what happened with Shohei Ohtani, bringing global attention to the franchise. The infrastructure to support international stars is elite. The training staff, the analytics department, the cultural support, the marketing machine. Second, the Dodgers have proven they can develop and maximize pitching talent. They don't just collect arms, they refine them. They build them for October. Third, and this is critical, the Dodgers are positioned financially to make creative moves. But here's where Dave Roberts' message becomes even stronger. He emphasized that young pitching must be protected and developed properly, that innings management is crucial, that the organization doesn't want to burn out elite talent. That sounds like a manager preparing the fan base for a long-term investment. Sasaki is only in his early 20s. Bringing him over would not be about one season. It would be about shaping the rotation for 5, maybe 10 years. Imagine a 2026 rotation anchored by a prime Sasaki, possibly paired with established veterans and emerging arms from the farm system. That's the kind of blueprint that keeps the Dodgers at the top of the National League. But let's also talk about risk. Anytime you bring a pitcher from overseas, there's adjustment. Different baseball, different schedule, different travel. The MLB grind is relentless. Some pitchers thrive immediately, others need time. But here's the key difference. Sasaki's stuff plays anywhere. Velocity translates. Elite splitters translate. Command translates. And the Dodgers would not rush him. That's the other thing about Roberts' comments. When he says the organization believes in patience with elite talent, that's a reassurance. If Sasaki signs, don't expect 200 innings immediately. Expect a managed approach. Expect strategic rest. Expect analytics guiding every pitch count. Now let's zoom out even more. Why 2026 specifically? Because by then, the competitive landscape in the National League could shift dramatically. Rival teams are building too. The Braves aren't going anywhere. The Phillies are aggressive. The Padres always look for ways to make noise. If the Dodgers want to maintain separation, they can't rely solely on offense. Pitching wins championships. Let's also remember the Dodgers farm system continues to develop young arms, but adding a talent like Sasaki accelerates timelines. Instead of hoping a prospect becomes an ace, you're potentially importing one. Think about how that changes strategy at the trade deadline. If you know an elite arm is arriving in the near future, you don't have to overpay for aging pitchers. You can preserve prospects. You can structure contracts differently. You can balance payroll with foresight. That's how smart organizations stay ahead. When he speaks about collaboration between coaching and front office, that's him reinforcing alignment. If a deal like this happens, it will be coordinated at every level. So what does this mean for 2026 specifically? It means the Dodgers aren't planning to rebuild. They aren't planning to step back. They're planning to reload again with youth and electricity. Let me paint you a scenario. It's mid-2026. Sasaki has adjusted. He's learned hitters' tendencies. His splitter is generating weak contact. His fastball command has sharpened. And he's now not just a rookie sensation, he's a Cy Young contender. The Dodgers sit atop the division, and analysts across the country talk about how the decision to pursue him early reshaped the franchise. That's why this isn't just about a signing rumor. This is about direction. Dave Roberts sending a strong message isn't accidental. Managers often protect secrets. They deflect. They downplay. But when you emphasize elite international talent and long-term pitching anchors, fans and insiders connect the dots. And if you're a Dodger supporter right now, you have every reason to be excited. Because this front office has shown again and again that they think big. They don't shy away from global talent. They embrace it. Roki Sasaki could be the next chapter. And if this chapter begins, 2026 might be remembered as the season where a generational arm fully arrived in Los Angeles and changed the postseason equation. So keep watching this story closely. Keep paying attention to every comment, every hint, every subtle message from Dave Roberts and the front office. Because sometimes the biggest moves are telegraphed long before they're official. If you're excited about the possibility of Sasaki and Dodger Blue, drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think he would dominate immediately? Do you think 2026 becomes the start of a new dynasty run? Let's talk about it. And again, don't forget to like and subscribe. Because if this deal gains momentum,